Oh boy, but you know what is the same? It's the same passion, man. We just want to see everyone in here lit up. Know a real and living God. We want to see you set free. You don't need to be bound in sin anymore, in the chains of the devil anymore. You can be free. You can be free tonight. And I want to tell you this, Jesus is absolutely the only way. He's the only way. He said, I am, he said. He is God, by the way. He's the great I am. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And he said, no one shall come to the Father but through me. So you can't have a little bit of Freemasonry and Jesus. You can't have a little bit of pornography and Jesus. Jesus is not your side chick. You got to marry Jesus. We're described, we're meant to be like the bride. It's a covenant. It's all in. He was all in for you, and he wants you to be all in for him. And in fact, he said, if you don't lose your life, you won't find it. If you look back, you're not worthy of him. He preached a full-on message. He wasn't about tickling ears. He wasn't interested in, let's see how many numbers we can get at the front up here. So let's just sort of tame it down a little bit. Let's sugarcoat the message a little bit. Make it feel nice for people. Keep it up. Keep it hyped. That's religious games. What he wants to cut through to the heart of people, because it's the real gospel that brings real conversion, real change. You need to hear the truth. There is a heaven and a hell. But the gospel is the power of God unto salvation. The wages of sin is death. You need to understand the contrast, the bad news, before you can understand the good news. The wages of sin is death. In other words, the penalty of sin is death. And all of us here have been partakers of that sin, deserving of death. But Jesus loved you so much that he said, I don't want them to die. Forgive them, Father. They don't know what they do. I want to take their place. In some ways, like an analogy, he wants to pay your bail to get you out of the prison of sin, out of the prison of darkness. And it doesn't matter what you've done. All of us have fallen short of the standard. All of us have fallen short of the glory of God. We felt the manifest glory in here tonight, and none of us are worthy of that experience. Certainly not worthy for the glory of God to abide and live in us, and for God to be our best friend, and for us to be in a relationship with him. But he loved us, and Jesus was part of God's rescue plan to get you back. Unless you are born again, you are dead in your transgressions. Some of you say, well, I'm not dead, I'm here now. What do you mean? That doesn't make sense. Jesus tried to explain this to a man named Nicodemus. He's trying to understand the things of the kingdom. And Jesus said the born again experience is not a flesh experience. Nicodemus was like, what do you mean be born again? Jesus said, you must be born again to enter the kingdom of God. And Nicodemus is like, what do you mean be born again? Do I need to return to my mother's womb? Are you talking about reincarnation? What are you talking about? And Jesus said, no, that which is flesh, but we're not talking about the flesh tonight. Your flesh is still moving. Your natural heart is still beating. You have emotions, you have a soul. But the real you, the core of who you are, the spirit of who you are, is dead unless you are born again. And that's what God's coming after tonight. He'll heal your body. He'll restore your soul. But more importantly right now, the greatest miracle of all is that He would breathe His life in you, and that dead spirit would come alive again, and that you would literally become a new creature, where all things would pass away, and behold, all things will become brand new. Will you stand to your feet with me? Wow. It just feels like so much anticipation right now.